watched Paper Tigers? So we watched the first part. Do you have Amazon Prime? Okay. And I was showing him. If you don't, that's okay. In the submission section, if you wanted to watch the entirety of this, I think it's right here. This is the sequel to Paper Tiger, so you can click on that and watch the whole thing. It's only about an hour. But we are watching this one today, and this is the free one I have access to. We're doing about 35 minutes each day because I got to get going at about 35 after. You guys have any questions on anything? Did this show up on the YouTube last time if you were able to check in on the YouTube? Sometimes it cuts it out. It's like it deletes my YouTube because they say it's, I'm using it for educational purposes, but they say it's copyrighted. You don't know. That's okay. That's all right. Well, we'll get it going. What we're getting into, though, is the early childhood development. And that would be on, if I can get it to show you guys, basically chapter 5. That's what we're getting into. Development and childhood development and kind of Erickson's stages. The autonomy versus doubt and initiative versus guilt. So let's roll the tape.
Because I have nowhere to go.
Or on a student of ours, a possible neglect of youth. Okay. I am concerned about how what the repercussions of calling CPS for this young lady are. I really don't want to have any backlash.
Brooke, she was like, I gotta call CPS, and I was like, I know.
It just got to the point where we felt like, gosh, this kid has nowhere to go. She has nowhere to go.
Shelly was like, somebody's here to see it. I'm like, who? He's like, CPS worker.
They were putting her in protective custody. And they came to me and said, would you be interested in taking her? When kids are put in foster care, sometimes that experience is good and sometimes that experience is bad. I know that firsthand. I was actually in foster care as a child for a while. And I was in a great home. And the second one I was in was a horrible home. It was absolutely awful. And I'm like, is she going to get into this horrible situation or is she going to have a good experience?
And that's when me and Shelly got really close. She was like, I'll take her. And she took me. And then that same day, I ended up going home with her.
All right. Memory is the thing where, girl, I gotta get my mom. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Diana. Happy birthday to you. Oh my God, guys. It's okay.
It's weird. It's weird to get into it and learn how to get used to it.
Oh, you're so nice. Well, we mean it. We're glad you're part of the family.
You can just see that some weight's been lifted off her shoulders. She has those sad moments, so it's not like a magical thing where it wipes everything away. Obviously, we know that. Like yesterday, she waited until midnight for her mom to call her. She just wants her mom to care about her and show that. She never did call her, never did text her. That pain, there's still a lot of pain there with that. There always will be.
But it's the truth of the matter. You are looking at possible criminal charges just for skipping school. You can look at 30 days in juvie, and that's the point. We're trying to get you guys graduated. Here's the good side. Half of the student body had over a 3-point GPA. I'll show you a report card for that. For a B or above average. That's big. So here you are. This is more than 15 absences. You're down in the D's to F's. So when you're missing school, there's an obvious connection between your body not being in here and you failing. Because when you look at this, when you're here, you're A's and B's. When you're gone, you're failing. And that's it. big difference. Stephen, when he got here so angry with society, so anti-authority, literally at the beginning, he would have been a liability to this community.
I don't want to go big long. My friends have the past few months. A lot of them kind of just turned to harder drugs and stuff recently. Methamphetamines and heroin, and like cocaine and stuff.
Some of the conversations that I had with Stephen were, how is that working for your buddies? And it's actually not that bad, so-and-so staying at another friend's house in the basement, and they just kind of get up, smoke weed all day and play video games. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds awesome, doesn't it? And it's like, well, yeah, you don't really have to do anything. And so who's paying for that? And he goes, well, he gets food stamps, however much in food stamps. And I go, oh, so he's collecting from the very government that you guys keep saying fuck you to. And he was, it was that moment where he was kind of like, and he thought, he's like, well, yeah. And so the more we had those discussions where it was like, it sounds like you're saying fuck the government, but everybody ultimately is either going to be locked up or, living off of it. So maybe your choices so far don't work. And that's where it opened the opportunity to say, why do you graduate? Because then you can get a job and you can do whatever the fuck you want.
Well, I haven't really taken college into much consideration until just a couple months ago when Jeannie began to mention it to me. I'm managing to do well, and so it makes it look like there is a lot more options for me than when I was failing consistently because I wasn't going to school. So we're going then? We're going?
We're going. You're on the way.
We're going to Bellingham to check out Lester and the area.
After all, baby, right there. Should be a you.
Okay.
Turn that on.
Spotlight.
Yeah, that's about right.
All right, let's do an interview here. Let's do this. You ready for this?
Let's do some more
I
questions.
guess.
Okay, where were you born?
They show me a different side of like society itself, sort of deal. If they think that I'm not looking like as chipper as usual or whatever, then they'll offer me food. Like one of our teachers bought me shoes last year, and that was really nice because I needed shoes and it was the middle of winter.
What do you think? If you look at your life so far, what have been key moments in your life that you think have shaped who you are?
Well, I'd say my mom being diagnosed with bipolar, my parents splitting up, and freaking yeah, I don't know what else. Being put on probation, I guess that changed a lot of things. Almost overdosing changed a lot of things too. That was definitely kind of opened my eyes to the point where I was like, whoa, I kind of don't really feel like it would be awesome to die. Fairhaven, let's get them out of the streets. Counteract some sweet stairs. I'll just document how lost I can get.
Actually, we need to take a order.
I think that their kindness made it a whole lot easier for me to like learn things from them and actually listen to them and take their advice. Because I was like, these are good people, why would I not listen to them?
In order for this to happen, there's a a lot of stuff that has to click into place. He might not get into college. He might not get the financial aid he needs in order to even afford to be able to go to college. Steven? At this time of life for a lot of kids, this is their senior year. This is decision-making time. What am I going to do next with my life? Am I going to make that next step and invest in the future, or am I going to step out and coast where I'm at right now? And you could go any one of those directions.
People don't always understand that even when you open up your palms and let your writing float away on the breeze into the clouds through the void, that you've given them a piece of yourself. The most precious wounded bits that you forget can be so beautiful until you see them from a distance. People don't always know how lovely but painful it is to see the worst parts of you flourish the moment they get away from you. Something you hated because you failed to see the value. To witness the best parts of yourself shuffled past and discarded like junk mail or put down like a sick dog. Something you loved dearly that you didn't want to see in agony, but you desperately didn't want to lose just to have it buried. But if you had kept it inside of you, it would have festered into something hideous. If you had kept it safe and locked up, it would still have been wasted away. Babe, it's hella zoomed in. How do I zoom out? When I met Gustavo and he told me his story, I was just like, wow, this guy thinks exactly like me. I told him every little part of who I was, and he was okay with it.
I didn't know I was gonna date her. We didn't know we were gonna date. You know, we came from both different backgrounds. She was one of those quiet little gothic girls, and I was one of those loud, mean, bully, just kind of kids.
It turned out better than I expected. The school counselor, Brooke, they asked her who she should recommend to work on it, and she seen a lot of my work, so she said me.
How do you feel when you paint?
Dramatic.
It's really kind of an escape. I really lean on him. I tell him I'm gonna freak out. I need weed, I need this, I need that. But seeing how much Gustavo's life was affected by the same thing with his family, he's like, everybody leaves me for drugs. And it made me think, everybody leaves me for it too. And I'm here leaving school, leaving my family, leaving him.
My girlfriend Kelsey, she's like, why do you get me so well? I'm like, I was raised by a woman. My mom's like both parents. On Father's Day, we're like, Happy Father's Day, Mom.
My dad left when I was like 7 or 8. One time that haunts me is this argument my mom and my dad had. We lived in a trailer. We had no money. There was 5 kids. We didn't have anything to eat. When I came home, I feel like a week of being gone. Mom told me, that's it, I'm sick of your crap, we're done. I knew he was doing drugs, you could tell. When my dad did drugs, his eyes glowed red like the devil. I walked over and I looked at him and he just looked at me. No emotion, no sadness, no regret. I said, are you leaving? He said, no, I'm not leaving. I fell asleep good, feeling I was protected. You know? But I woke up, he wasn't there. I always wait for him to come back. My dad never did the best things, but he was my superhero, you know?
He wants to be like his dad, whether his dad was shooting at people, whether his dad was being nice. He wants to be like his dad.
I still carry a lot of that. It's the pain that makes us who we are, you know?
Sometimes suffering doesn't have a good outcome. But I do know one thing is I believe in him.
So, ready? On your cue, remember character. Okay, I really want you working on your character. What you practice is what you're going to do on stage.
I was super introverted and I was very sensitive. It was pretty bad.
Step right up, come and see the amazing prince, the states of nature, the strange and bizarre. We can call him Bobby Wilson, the boy who can eat his own face.
I don't know when it all changed or what started the change. I just all of a sudden started talking a bit more to the teachers and staff, and this is the first place that I've ever been to that I felt that they care about me as an individual. How's it going, guys? I guess I just wasn't in an environment where people bullied me and put me down, and instead they built me up.
Then they started drawing. And these artists got awesome.
This one, that one,
And
and
you can see this kind of saying, hey, check it out. Here's a piece of me. There's this cool thing I can do. Wow, it was awesome. You got a lot of accolades for that. I helped draw him out a little bit.
The growth he's even had this year has been incredible for me. Just to watch his confidence come back. I mean, he was so lacking in it before and so angry that all of the incredible qualities that you see in this kid, you would never have seen.
Welcome to the most disturbing show on earth. See the amazing devil girl. She is 5 years old and she's as evil as sin. Tremble in fear before the terrible, twisted nature of this horrible little girl.
in my opinion, I think it's only going to get better. There's a lot of things I want to do.
So let's go back up to the first one. Okay, dealing with adversity. So think outside of yourself. What would someone looking at you think, wow, that's a little bit different than maybe other kids have had to deal with? I mean, when you think about your aces, what are the ones that stand out?
I can't remember all the aces.
Is mental health a big one?
Probably.
Is that one you're willing to write about? Because that is, you have had a lifetime of working with someone with some mental health issues. But I don't know if you're willing to write that on here.
Yeah, how do I put that in words?
A lot of people applying for colleges. It's not been that hard. You've had some little things like they didn't make varsity basketball when they wanted to, and then they had to play really hard and work hard to make the team, right? But it's hard for you to be able to see that when you've only lived your own life. But think a little bit in terms of like, they're getting all these applications of what makes you unique. And this is one of those things. So if you're willing to name it. Sugar diagnosis.
Porphyria. There we go.
I don't know why that was on the tip of my tongue.
Porphyria. How do you spell porphyria?
Characterized by attacks of severe neuropathy and mental disturbances. All right, there you go. So for something this means every day it's unpredictable.
Every day at home is unpredictable. Yeah. Responsibilities.
There we go. All right, team.
Alright.
This is out. See, I live out in the country, like out in the country, like. See, I moved in here almost 3 weeks ago. These are onions. Hopefully they don't like beat me up or anything. And that's my house right there. Who said I was gonna follow? See, I'm a little bite, right? I feel like I'm happier because I don't have to think about every night, am I gonna get kicked out? Am I gonna eat tomorrow? Am I gonna be okay? Oh, look at the cows. Is that cow? I can't even say, how do you say it? Cow. I'm not stressing so much about school and all that. Like, I'm not by myself anymore. I got a team. It's hard. My grades, they were so bad at the beginning of the year. I had like so many F's. Well, this quarter, I have a B, a C minus, a C plus, a B minus, a B minus, a B minus, an A, and a C minus. Oh, what now? You see how badass that is? One thing that I realized though, like all my mom, my aunt, my grandma, they all had kids when they were 15, 14. My mom had my older brother when she was 15. And I'm the first one that 17 has no kids. How proud I am of myself. Does it say? It says June 19th. It's a hearing. If the court finds the child dependent could result in permanent loss of your parents' rights. So I'm guessing this is like to take the rights off of her.
So do you think you can hold it together, Suko?
That's what I'm scared of. That's what I'm scared of. I don't know what to do when I see her. I don't know what's gonna happen. She gets to me. She's always getting to me. I feel like if it's not one thing, it's another thing when it comes down to her. It was like first trying to find her, and then getting some papers, and then all that, and then.
All right. Looks like YouTube blocked us again.